Hey, what's up, guys? Another week here, and I believe this is up to 13 consecutive days of raw squatting with singles and some lower intensity sets. I actually changed my mindset with the lower intensity sets afterwards because initially I was doing the primarily triples, doubles, singles of the pause squats, and I didn't really feel that they were giving me much utility. So, later down in the week, I was actually doing higher rep sets with, 315 and 320, 325, things like that. And that volume, I believe, is helping me to an extent. Keep in mind, I don't do lots or too many sets after the singles. So I'll do, for example, three volume sets with that lower intensity, 315, 320, 325. And then because I still want to do some type of pause work, I'll do a few singles. It'll probably be around three singles with that same intensity. So that is what I switched to. And as far as the volume goes and the intensity each day, my body is fine for the most part. Don't really feel anything per se as far as soreness. So I think that's attributed to my type of work capacity. This deadlift you see here is not the greatest. I was kind of rushed because the gym was closed early. So here, later on that day, I was doing some bench, and you have to keep in mind that the bench I normally do on the commercial bench is not with the regular grip. So actually, in this session, I did 248, which is an all-time raw PR. My butt came off the bench a little, but you have to keep in mind that I didn't take any type of deload or days off before. It's just benching every day. So, this was a nice surprise. I was able to grind this up. And the following day, back in my storage here, I lifted in the calibrated plates. And again, I'm not going to lie, this was kind of tough. I don't know if that's due to the it being calibrated or whatnot, but it wasn't my normal thing. You have to excuse me because I do have a sore throat, or maybe possibly strep throat, so it's kind of hard to talk too well. But anyways, doing the regular grip, which is technically a close grip, closer grip than the normal competition grip because the bar, I can't really take out the bar too well if I do a wide grip, so I have to resort to that. But again, it looks like to be translating to some gains as far as the competition grip goes. So again, I'm just going to stick with it. And I was actually contemplating getting a Rogue bench and sticking in the gym, but I figure the trouble and the cost of, not the cost, it's very inexpensive, but the kind of the trouble of getting management to approve of it is probably not worth the trouble. Because what I'm doing here is adapting well to the competition bench, and again, it's probably not worth the trouble because talking to the general manager, getting approval, and all that, possible liability of use of the bench by other members if I have to lock it up, etc. So, I think way too much of a headache, and trying to pull it in and out from being locked up, you're just going to kill more time. So I'm opting not to do it because obviously it's fine if I go on the competition bench. So I'll probably stick that way and just keep training as is. So another thing I discovered during the week, as far as walking out or taking the bar out of the rack, I noticed that when I was doing daily squats, even though I would try my best to keep my back straight with the back, quote unquote, back straight cue, I still would round, while I was doing the squats. So, I figured there has to be a better way to do this. So what I actually did was instead of taking the bar of the rack, just, I guess my normal way, what I'm doing now is I'm actually arching into the bar. And then when I'm picking it out, I don't relax my back at all. So I think it's really helping with that, with that back position, because it is kind of awkward to take it out of the rack that way. So you're arching your back, and then you're kind of picking it out, so your back stays locked in. I mean, it is a little awkward. It almost feels like the bar could possibly, slip off your back. But I think it can really make the difference because, I naturally want to hit a personal record at the competition that's on January 13th, and I misspoke on a previous video because the meet is actually on a Sunday, which is pretty abnormal for a local meet. So unless you're doing some kind of international meet, where you may lift during the week or a Sunday, usually meets in the United States are done on a Saturday. So I'll have to shift my weight cutting schedule, and I'll probably be lifting up until Thursday of that week. So do some squats and bench on Thursday, and then take Friday and Saturday off, and do the competition on Sunday. And you see here, I'm kind of mixing it up, doing some singles with 230, and it's going well. And no spotter or whatnot, just taking it out myself, and it's not a problem. So you'll see it evidently here when I'm doing the squats. You see how my back is way tighter, especially the upper back. So this session, which was yesterday, I'm recording on Sunday, I actually worked up to 385. It probably was, parallel, but again, it was good to have this weight on my back, and I believe that this is the most weight I've ever had on my back raw at the gym. So again, it's a good sign. So probably using this technique of arching into the bar and picking it out of the rack. It does feel uncomfortable, but it definitely makes a difference when I'm trying to push through the hole. So I'm just pushing all the way through without having to worry about my back rounding. And this is the final bench of the week. And again, just going along. Normally, I do some kind of pyramid, like for example, 185 by 8 or 9 or whatever, 205 to 225. Then I may do another single and then drop it down for some volume or fixed sets. So, anyways, thanks guys for watching, and stay tuned for next week.